Welcome, everybody, to the Devil's Work podcast, the podcast where I, Skeptik, and my co pilot into corpular type activities, PsydeShow,
Hey.
delve into all the world's most fucked up, interesting, quirky, and weird, usually horror movies.
Yeah, usually horror. That's a good way to intro this one in particular. It's such a very usual horror is what we cover on this show. I would say this is kind of a departure, but not too far from what we have covered actually.
We've done a few comedy horror
Hmm.
well, I guess horror comedies
Hmm.
on the show before, but I don't think well, I guess La Horde is
That's
kind of a
exactly what I was gonna call it. It's this is
yeah.
very much La Horde. This
This
is
is so I guess
very
this is
much
the
La Horde.
second action horror
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that we've covered. We don't usually go into these, but and again, they're both from me. So
Yeah, that's true. Thank you for these. These have been fucking super fun.
bringing it back to the true essence of my origin, the year 2000.
Yeah.
Not just the aughts, but aught itself. This is Versus, the film by Ryuhei Kitamura, a
Yeah.
Japanese director who, fun fact, I had no idea, is also the director of Midnight Meat Train.
No shit, really.
Weird as fuck, right?
Trip the fuck. It kind of makes a lot of sense though. Like just in terms of style wise in this film, like I could totally see the fingerprint. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's just weird.
No, it's very strange. Absolutely, you're not wrong, but that's fucking that makes sense though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because usually when Mike did Imprint,
Mhm.
he had to communicate with English speaking cast and
Yeah,
crew,
yeah,
and it for sure impacted the quality,
yeah.
you know,
Left an imprint
be,
on it.
because yeah, because obviously, people in other countries have better education so they can speak multiple languages.
Yeah, yeah.
But, Mike
But
is
it's
like
even
directing with like, yeah,
emoting in that other language is
yeah,
so
he's
hard when you don't
directing
have
with
the
like
dialect down.
yeah, with like the Japanese inflection and
Hmm.
range, and so it doesn't come
Yeah.
across the right way in that movie. But yeah, so with Kitamura and Midnight Meat Train, just not that situation at all.
Yeah,
So
you're right. Yeah.
different person, but it is just interesting to like compare and contrast that, and also one kind of against his will in Mike because he was like, "What?
Yeah, yeah.
I've I work in my native language. What are you doing?"
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, for Kitamura, it seems like he was just like, "Yeah, I'll do it. I'll take the job."
Yeah, and I'm sure Midnight Meat Train will get its own episode. I'm sure
Hmm.
it'll get its own episode eventually. I mean, that's like a cult classic right there too.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny that its name is like Midnight because I feel like it's a movie that like in that sort of Adult Swim sphere.
Oh
Even though
yeah,
Adult Swim doesn't show movies
yeah.
like that, you know what I mean? Like in that sort of like
100%. The
ballpark.
vibe, the vibe that it
Yeah.
curates.
A stranger that you met in the late 2000s who was into Adult Swim
Hmm.
very
Hmm.
likely would be like, "Have you seen Midnight Meat Train?"
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's kind of
that's
what I
kind
mean
of like
there.
our entire vibe of our show.
Hey, have
It's
you
the
seen?
entire thing.
God, I try really hard not to do that to Amanda, but like occasionally I can't help myself. I'll
We're
be
the
like,
we're the older brother of the internet.
pretty much. I every now and then I'll be like, "You haven't seen that? Are you serious?"
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Fellas, pro tip, fellas, lean in here, boys, lean in here. Remove that shit from your vocabulary. You'd be real surprised how your life changes. Gonna get a
Oh,
lot more
sorry.
pub.
Yeah. You're not wrong, but yeah, no. I definitely have been, guilty of that shit from time to time, but it's just fun. You get excited about it. That's the thing too. Like I think with these ones, like we're excited about talking about these ones because nobody's talking about these fucking movies. Like it's the whole
hmm
point of this show. Like that's nobody's talking about these fucking movies.
This one is surprisingly like way more well loved than I thought.
Mm, mm.
I kind of thought this was a movie that like I knew about and no one else did.
Yeah, you told me about it. I'd never heard about it before in my life, but and you told me like go in as blind as possible, which I love to do anyway. So I went
Yeah, of
in.
course.
God damn, bro, this shit just hit me like a sack of fucking bricks. It is so much fun. I want to like read off you first of all give a synopsis. I feel like you should give a synopsis of this fucking thing before I
Oh,
even rattle off the influences that I got, which are very heavily video game inspired.
I gotta say this real quick before we start.
Hmm.
This 2 hour film that we're talking about 25 years later,
Hmm.
I just happened to look down and see this and my jaw dropped and I had to say something. Guess what the budget was?
What?
Just guess.
I mean, for this, they're shooting it in a fucking park. They're like you're pretty much spending on like costumes and shit. I would say maybe 1 million.
10,000.
God damn! What the fuck? That's fucking crazy.
10,000 Americans. So
That's fucking nuts, bro. That has to be one of the besides. Oh no,
they're like
that's
blowing people apart in this
dude. That's
movie. How
cheaper
did
than
it?
fucking Skinamarink. Skinamarink goes 15,000.
That's crazy.
That's nuts, bro. What the fuck? That genuinely just blew my mind. That's so cool.
I mean, granted, it was 25 years ago, but that's still crazy.
That's nuts. For what they're pulling off in this movie, that makes no sense. That makes zero sense. That's fucking absurd. Oh, that's so cool though. That is wow,
So
that's
in today's money, 18,321.
Jesus
So yeah,
fucking yeah,
so all right,
laughable.
maybe we're being crazy here.
That's
That's a lot of
fucking
money.
absurd, dude. That's nuts. But yeah, hit him with the synopsis. That's nuts for what this is. So we can even
I'm
start
I'm
talking about it.
I'm sorry. I just like got you so flabbergasted with that. You got turned around. You asked to do the synopsis.
Oh, I did I? No, 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 no. I wanted to give because after you do the synopsis, I want to give the video game like
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
okay.
want to
Okay,
give
okay.
the inspirations that I see in this.
So it reads this off at the beginning of the movie. There are 666 portals on Earth that connect it to the other side. Lured by the prospect of gaining power of darkness, many seek to find and open the portals. Somewhere in Japan, there exists the 444th portal, known as the Forest of Resurrection. So,
Mortal Kombat.
yes. Yeah, it's insanely Mortal Kombat. It's
Just
it's
Mortal
way more
Kombat.
action than horror. It's the Forest of Resurrection, so you get a lot of zombies.
But it
Um,
looks like one of the fucking maps in Mortal Kombat.
it really
It looks like
does.
the map. That's so fucking funny, dude. It's
It's
so yeah.
on the back of the DVD case it says that like there's a soul of goodness and a soul of evil that have been like fighting each other across time
Oh my God, that's
and
so
and
fun.
and it says but prisoner KSC 2303 can't remember which one he is.
Which is yeah, and that's accurate. But I don't know. There's so many. Well, okay, I'm gonna read off. So there's influences here that predate and came after as well. But I'm just like for the general vibe of this movie, what it is: The Matrix,
You big
De
time.
Devil May Cry,
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, late
Uh-huh.
game, Resident Evil, specifically late game.
Yeah, it's like Resident Evil 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm. But like when it starts going off the wall, like when you've gotten the rocket launcher at this point, you know what I mean?
it's
Like
like when Chris starts punching boulders.
literally, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So House of the Dead.
Oh, incredibly.
Yep. Blade
Yeah.
and any edgy 90s source material.
Yeah.
Literally all of them.
There's a, have you seen Detroiters?
No.
Oh my God, dude. It's Tim Robinson and
Mm.
Sam Richardson, I think is his name.
Hmm.
It's their show from before I Think You Should Leave. I Think You Should Leave Now. Um, and basically they're running an ad agency together. It's like idiot madmen.
Oh, okay.
Like they're just two morons
This looks fun as
running.
hell. Yeah.
It's like Tim's dad loses his mind, and so Tim takes over the company and
Yeah.
brings his best friend Sam on board, and so
Oh,
they
it's on.
start.
It's on Netflix.
Yes, it is. It is on
Okay.
Netflix.
I'm gonna check
It
this out.
um, God, I brought what were we saying just a moment ago? Because I brought it up and then I lost it.
Oh, like any just 90s source material, like edgy.
Oh yeah, so there's an
Yeah.
episode where they're doing an ad for this store called Farmer Zach's, and when they first come in, they're like, "We want to re-record this song, and it has to do with like Sam sang it with his old girlfriend, and now he has a new girlfriend, so the new girlfriend's jealous and wants to like do a new version of the song." And the guy who owns the store is this big black dude,
Hmm.
and the logo is like this white skinny farmer guy in overalls, right? And he's like, well, I don't really want to redo the song or redo the ad. I'm not really interested. And they keep talking to him about it. And he's like, okay, all right, I'll do it. But I think we need to update this logo. I think we should give this guy like, instead of overalls, he should have like a cool leather jacket. And they're like, you want Farmer John or Farmer Jack, the character. You want him to have a leather jacket, and he's like, "Yeah, definitely." And I think like some leather pants and like a black wife beater too. I think that would be like really cool. And then let's take the farmer hat off of him and give him like some shades and a katana. And then you know what? Let's actually make him black and bald. And so it just becomes
It just
him.
becomes this movie.
No, it just becomes like the guy, the owner of the store, and then at the end of the episode, he comes out basically dressed like Blade with a sword, and he's like looking around his store.
That's
But
all
that,
this.
but
Yeah.
but that is this movie.
Literally, that's all this movie is. It's fucking hilarious, dude. It's so, but that's the thing. There was something like if I had seen this at the right age, oh, it would have been everything to me. This movie would have been my
You know,
entire
you know,
life.
you know what this movie is. This is Hunter the Reckoning, the movie.
Oh yeah, 100%. So
Oh,
fucking good.
I just hit a I
Yeah,
just hit a
yeah.
source memory for so
Uh-huh.
many people our
Yeah,
age. They're
hundred
just
percent.
like shot back to the video store like, "What's this? I guess I'll play this game."
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously, dude. That's so
How
it's
many how many sleepovers?
God, dude, that's so fun. It's anything you loved as a kid, as a 90s kid, or like again, like early 2000s kid, like growing up, all of these. And I bring up Devil May Cry for a reason. There's literally very much of Dante and Virgil thing going on, like
Oh
very
yeah.
much. Yeah, very, very much.
These guys are like two air combos away from a triple S rank.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck yeah. Fuck
Stylish.
yeah. Thank you.
God.
I love, dude. You have no idea. I loved Devil May Cry. You don't understand the level of love I had for that shit. But it was problematic. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I get it, and it was not. It was not. Looking back on it, I understand. But fuck it. I loved Max Payne too. That's problematic in its own way. Like. I don't give a shit. It was unapologetically like edgy, and that's what made this movie so much fucking fun.
Did you did you watch this dubbed or subbed?
Oh, subbed. No,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
I was gonna say I didn't even
Okay.
know there was a dub.
When I put on the DVD, it tried to get away with it, and I was like, "No, no." I had to go into the
We read in
settings.
this house, damn it.
Yeah, Jesus, come on. But yeah, so it's a cool, good time.
Yeah.
I can't like find it now. I'm not sure where I would find it, but
So I had to rent it. I had to rent it. You can find it on YouTube. I think that is about where I mean, anywhere you can rent it, I'm sure it's gonna be there. But it says that it's also distributed by Arrow, which I thought by us having the app we would be able to watch it on there. But turns out it's not on there for right now. They probably do the whole thing where they switch out the categories, like they switch out every every so often, just like Shudder, just like Netflix, all those.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was distributed by Arrow. But I would, yeah, I would rent it. It's worth the $3, the $2 I think it is to rent it. That shit was so much
Yeah.
fun.
It's a good runtime. It's two
Yeah.
hours. And yeah, what I was saying I'm not sure where to find now is I remember hearing or reading a thing way back when I first watched this movie that basically said that like kind of the idea of this movie was to move from guns to fists
Hmm.
to swords.
Hmm.
And that's like the flow of the movie with the action scenes. Is like
Oh,
it's
okay, that makes sense. Yeah, now that you're explaining that.
and there's even like a little bit of gun kata in
That's what
this
I was gonna
movie.
say. I was like, there's gung fu.
There's not a lot of gun kata movies out there. We
Yeah.
should do it's not it's Equilibrium.
Equilibrium. I was just thinking about it. I freaking
At
love
some
that
point,
movie, bro. Fuck yeah.
Equilibrium is so stupid, but
It's
like
dumb.
it's
It's dumb.
so
It's so
cool.
good. It's so good. Yeah, and that's another one that's definitely the style of Equilibrium
God,
is just fucking very blatant. Like they took that
how
from this movie.
how many gun kata movies are there? Because there's got like I'm thinking of like five.
There
Like
can't be that many. I mean, there's got to be a whole plethora of the ones like that are out there, but just like that really made it. You know what I mean? I feel like there's not a whole lot that were successful because it's not something that you could do very well. You have to have a lot of money to pull that off too.
so
Or
a hundred.
clearly not in this case. Fuck.
So uh according to Wiki,
Mm.
and bear in mind, Versus is not on this list. Ultraviolet is. I was thinking that. I was like, Ultraviolet has
Oh yeah,
gun
yeah,
kata,
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
it?
You're totally
Um,
right. Yeah.
so there are 115
Wow.
gun fu films.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, because yeah, this isn't technically fall in that line either. Because yeah, you're right. They do
God,
specifically fight with those weapons.
but this is counting like El Mariachi and all four Matrix movies, and
You could
those.
there's okay, yeah, that's a little bit of a stretch, but I
Nah,
see what they're
to
saying.
to me, gun kata is straight up. You're shooting each other's bullets out of the air. That's gun kata.
No, but I mean, I think they mean in terms of like style.
Romeo must
Like,
die. Eat
yeah,
my
yeah, no,
fucking
that's what I'm
ass.
saying. No,
Like,
dude, like I get it. I get it. I was saying like that's what I mean in terms of like the flourishes and all like the dramatic poses that they do when they're
you know,
using the guns.
sight unseen. I
Mhm.
will vouch for "Don't Give a Damn," also known as Burger Cop, 1995 Hong Kong.
Fuck, what are you
Uh,
saying to me
ex-
right now? It's just a string of words. It's like, are you having a stroke?
I'm hungry for Burger Cop. Burger Cop, Cop your burger.
Oh, it's
Um,
so fucking funny. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
undetermined.
It is, but it is very much. It is all of these things and so much more.
Zodiac Killers is a 1991 Hong Kong action thriller drama film with a really funny name when you think about it from both cultural contexts. like
Yeah, exactly.
like that's a perfect storm. That is a pop
That's
culture
yeah.
fucking perfect storm of confusion of like Zodiac Killers. No.
That's so yeah, they're very right. All right, I
That's
think we
fucking
gotta get
funny.
into it. These guys have waited long enough.
Yeah, I think so too. I
Very,
think so
very excited.
too.
But yeah, go rent this one. Go check it out. I can't recommend it enough. That was a good ass time. I had a great time with this one.
All right.
Oh, do we have trigger warnings? I mean, it
Yeah,
very
trigger
much is
warning. So
very
there's
women violence against
mutilation.
women.
Yo, big time.
Yeah.
Mutilation, blood and guts, severed limbs. There's zombies, so they're like blowing heads off and holes in people and things.
Yeah, but I get like we say, like it's more cool than anything. It's more fun. Like I don't know, it's
It
more
it I said this about another movie that we watched, but this is like it is the rule of cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's all that matters. Like
Yeah, yeah.
there's a
You were
part
talking
where
about DOA. Yeah, part
oh
3.
yeah, I
Yeah.
should have realized that.
Yeah.
What have we recently watched that was
Yeah.
crazy? Um yeah, like there's a part where he finds a corpse and like takes its full leather outfit so
It's
that he can
so
look cool for
oh,
the rest of the
so
movie.
goddamn good, dude. It's
Like
so
so
fun.
so
It's
stupid.
so fucking dumb. It's so fun. That's what I'm saying. Get together with some friends, fucking smoke a shitload of weed, and watch this movie. You're not gonna be disappointed. It is so much fun.
There's a guy that I would describe as like Japanese Joker, uh,
Yeah, I
who
that's funny. That's what I used to describe Keanu from Ichi the Killer.
that's funny. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Um, but this guy is also like he's pretty much just
I was trying to think
mod.
of who. Yeah, I was trying to think of who, but you're totally right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Well, not even the Joker. He's pretty much just Majima from Yakuza.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about it specifically in the movie that you're talking about. You're
No,
totally
that's what I'm saying is like his whole character being a Yakuza member, like with his
yeah.
tongue out and like doing knife stuff.
Hmm,
He's literally just Goro
Oh yeah,
Majima.
okay, got you, got you.
Yeah, and
I'm not as familiar with the games, but I know you love them.
you've played a couple of them though, right? Or am I tripping?
I have played exactly 1.5.
So you know the guy in the snake skin, like the snake coat with nothing underneath, the
Yeah,
black hair
yeah,
and
yeah,
the eye
yeah, yeah, yeah,
patch.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just that guy.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's everything you loved about something growing up. You know what I mean? Like it's this movie. It just encapsulates all of that. It's so fun.
It's a very interesting one. So yeah,
Mhm.
gun violence, sword violence, kung fu. If you don't
Yeah,
like it, don't watch it. If
yeah.
that's your cup of tea, you're really gonna enjoy it. I honestly, I used to a lot of these movies. I used to think this movie had like a pretty paper thin plot, but it's not bad.
Oh no, no,
It's
it's got
pretty.
a yeah, it's got an interesting one too. I like most of these. I need your help parsing it out, but it's fun. It's fun to look at, even if you don't get it at the first watch.
God, I still just can't believe $10,000.
That is the most absurd fucking fact you've ever dropped on me.
That's fucking insane.
That's nuts, dude. Because yeah, you think about the movies that we've covered on here, and like we have covered some very, very independent pictures. So, like Skinamarink being the like shining example, I think, and that was for $15,000. That's fucking nuts, dude.
God, yeah, yeah.
That's insane.
It's inspiring, you know.
Yeah, 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 for sure. That's exactly what I mean. I think, and that makes me love the movie even more because there is a punk rock nature to the entire fucking thing that's like bleeding through.
Oh, big time in this
Mm-hmm.
especially.
Mm-hmm.
So very last thing I'll say before we actually get into it. Principal photography was intended to last 3 weeks, but was extended to 7 months due to weather and financial issues. Bro,
God
it's 10 grand.
damn. Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
saying. What the fuck? Dude, they had to love doing this project. You know what I mean? Like there's no way that this ever gets made without people who are like actually behind this movie 100% for
oh
the
yeah.
love of the game. You know what I mean? Because they were not seeing how. Do you know off the hand? Does it say how much it grossed, or does it say? I can't imagine this saw its money back very much.
Let me see real quick. It doesn't say on Wiki, but let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I mean, because you have to account for not getting seen in the states. During this, it definitely wasn't getting distributed over here. Like it might have gotten on a VHS in some random ass video store, but It's like how you came across slashers. I imagine someone
Hmm.
randomly stumbled upon this movie one time, and that's why we know about it over here.
Yeah, I can't find the gross.
That's fine. I mean, yeah, I mean, if they made any money back at all, like good for them. Shit, it's all profit at that point.
Hopefully they did.
Yeah, yeah, I hope so. A blessing on all of their
I
houses.
I think these numbers might be in yen because this doesn't. It says
Mm.
400,000
That's what I'm saying. I don't
and what they
imagine that it
made
because it wouldn't have gotten distributed over here.
budget 400,000,
Hmm
55,500 worldwide box office. So that's those figures are in yen and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
didn't they just put dollars.
Yeah, weird. Okay. I mean, I hope they made some money. I hope everyone, fucking was able to buy a lunch off of this.
God. Yeah, it's what a time when you could make a
Mhm.
movie for 10 grand. You could,
Yeah, seriously.
our grandparents bought houses for 40 bucks and this guy made a movie for 10 grand.
Yeah, exactly.
Born too late for anything. All right. So the movie starts in 10th century Japan. We get a very Onimusha-esque sequence of this samurai fighting these zombie samurai, honestly. And they're not very coy about it. It's like
Dude,
very
it's
clear.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's
It's
pretty
a hell
sick.
of a way to start a movie, man.
I imagine when this movie started, you were like, what the fuck's going on?
That's literally what I was like, yo, what? And then when they dropped it later on, I was like, what the fuck? Like this, it just kept going, dude. The amazement and astonishment just kept happening. It was so fun.
I like doing that to you more than watching the movie.
That's fair.
That's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's you
The
know
whole reason why I show people movies anymore is to get a rise out of
pretty much.
them.
So he kills all of the zombies, and it's funny to think about it in practicality. They do one of those shots where he like they're all standing, and then he does a dramatic swing of the sword in a
So
pose,
fun.
and then
Yeah.
everyone falls and dies. And it's just funny to think about in practicality of like we got that one shot in the movie, but like 10 seconds before, everyone was like, "Okay, is this good? Is this a good place to stand? All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now fall down." Oh, okay, guys, we did it. Like the
Yeah, yeah, for
the
sure.
practical elements kind of just funny to think about. But it's a really cool sequence.
Mhm.
And then he goes like he finishes this battle and he moves forward and there's just this gang of like mysterious evil warriors and there's this guy who just like spot on perfect casting for an evil sorcerer.
Oh
He
yeah.
he, he
Yeah, it
just
looks
he just
fantastic.
has he just has like a Jafar-esque evil vizier,
Yep.
long
The
face, like
beard, like the yeah, yeah,
perfect,
yeah.
spot
Yeah.
on. And so the warrior fights his way through and attacks him, and he's like a monk. He has like a headdress, and I don't know what they're called, but if you ever watched Inuyasha,
Mhm.
I think Miroku had the same kind of thing where it's like the staff with a big wire in like this
Yeah.
kind of ornate shape, and then there's
Mhm.
all these metal rings. So when he like hits it down, the rings like jingle.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's a cool ass looking weapon. Like that this was taking place like you're talking about this is the samurai scene, right? Like so this was when they were all just fighting with swords.
It says 10th century Japan, but I'm realizing they say later it's 500 years, so it's 16th century Japan.
Oh, okay, okay. Weird.
You know? Yeah.
How do you get that mixed up? That's weird.
Yeah. Or port 1500s. Yeah, 16th century. 16th century Japan.
Weird.
Um so yeah. So he attacks this guy
Mhm.
who throws the staff down into the ground, draws his sword, kills him, sheathes his sword, and grabs the staff before it falls over.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's
So goddamn fun.
honestly I gotta say I don't think the sequence like does it very well
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah,
how
yeah.
well made the rest of the movie is. It's kind of goofy, but
Oh,
then he
there's plenty of goof in this movie. There's a lot of cheese
oh
in here for sure.
oh big
Oh
time
yeah.
and then The samurai falls in half, just
It's so good, dude.
just done for.
It's so fun.
And as he's laying there dying, he looks up and we can see that there's like an ally of his in the tree line
Hmm.
who like showed up too late. And then we get a big fiery year 2000 uh
Title
credit
card.
title
Yeah,
card,
yeah.
you know.
I love it, dude. Does it this that is does it give the title card actually after the date, or is it they haven't?
I think the title card is before we get to the present
Oh,
day.
okay. So it was just yeah,
It
yeah,
it tells you about the portals and
yeah,
everything, and then it shows this battle, and then it says
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
versus.
very cool, man. Like, it's a great fucking hook for a movie because again, I had no clue what the fuck to expect going into this, and I was like, I saw horror action when I looked it up. So I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. What does that even mean? Like going into it. And then it like started again when we hit the zombie shit. I was like, yo, what?
It's what it really is Dead Alive with Kung Fu.
And I don't even think I've ever seen it alive too.
Really, Brain Dead,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
with the lawnmower.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually seen it. I've seen like a lot of things about it. I've seen like clips of it, but I've never actually seen that movie.
Yeah, we should definitely watch that at some
Oh
point. That's
yeah,
that's a
yeah,
that's a silly one as well.
yeah. Please.
Um, so in this movie, no one has names. So please forgive us because we're constantly going to be like the guy, you
Is
know?
that
So
true?
no one has names in this movie. The closest thing to a name,
Was the like number serial number right? Like
mhm,
no shit. Now that you mentioned that, I didn't even catch that. That's interesting.
no one in the entire movie has a name.
Trip the fuck out. Interesting. That makes me want to watch it again now.
So in present day Japan, two prisoners escape through a forest and meet up with a gang of yakuza.
They look cool too. I love the like. I gotta say too, right off the bat, everyone's fucking fit in this is fantastic.
Every,
Every
every
single person
I get the
tripped out.
vibe. I get the vibe that most of them just showed up and
They
like
just
just
had that.
yeah, you
Yeah, no,
got
of
that
course
feel.
they. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, exactly. Everyone.
that
That's what I'm saying. Everyone's just tripped out all the time. There's
there's
no
there's a
way they got paid for
there's
that costume. That's
there's a
hard as
guy who
hell.
I will be referring to as male Tifa,
Yeah,
and you instantly know who I'm talking about
that's so funny. Yeah,
with the
hundred
vest.
percent with the best. Yeah, 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 hundred
He's
percent.
he's 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 wearing a vest with no shirt, and it's got like these cutouts in the back, and he's got a
Oh
ponytail
my
with
god,
bangs,
dude.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure, which,
yeah.
you know,
Male team is so good. Yeah, 100%. Oh my
a
god,
hundred percent male Tifa, dude.
that's
They
so funny. That's so funny.
they kind of beat for beat do the Tifa's fight from Advent Children if you really
Oh,
think
that's
about it.
so fun. Yeah, well, this thing, like, there's so. This is just inspired by anime. It's just inspired
Oh,
by
big
like,
time.
it is like that literally, and like, and I know we've said that for like Dead or Alive. I'm pretty sure we've said like, oh, this feels like anime inspired, but like, this is just blatantly just an anime. Like,
Hmm.
they just made an anime film,
This is
live action.
the whole thing. This is like the most 17-year-old thing to do. Just
Yeah.
go in the woods with a bunch of fake guns and swords and just
Yes.
make cool fights.
Exactly. That's what makes this fun. It's also, yeah, because you're exactly right. It has this like there's this earnesty about everything too, and the way it's delivered, and like again, this has to have been a passion project for everyone involved. Ain't nobody got paid off this motherfucker right up front.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Nobody
Not
saw
one
someone.
dime.
That's what I'm saying. That's why. That's what you're right. Makes the costume thing so much more impressive.
Yeah, a lot of them for sure just showed up in the quote coolest
That's
thing they
so
owned.
yeah,
That
hundred
was that
percent.
was
You
the
know
co
that was the prompts. You know that was the prompt.
he was like, I've never had the balls to wear these cargo pants and this vest. I'm gonna do it. and I'm gonna
Yeah,
put my hair in a ponytail.
it's the same thing when I get people who, like when I tell them like just bring some shit for photo shoots, like whenever I have subjects come over, and they're like, oh well, like I've never like I bought this once and never wore it at all. Like I hear that a lot, and I just think that's literally what they did for this movie.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like, I'm feeling it, but can I get away
That's
with it?
yeah, dude, that's so fucking funny. You're so right. Oh my god. That's you're making me love this movie so much more that we're talking
I
about it.
love that the prisoner jumpsuits just say lawbreaker down their
Yeah,
entire
Lawbreaker. Dude, it looks
body.
hard though. It looks hard. Like I'd rock that shit today. It fucking looks hard.
That is streetwear, baby.
Yeah, dude, it looks cool. It looks cool. You're right. Again, the rule of cool is just this movie. It is plastered all throughout this movie.
That's so fucking funny. I would love to see you. You should you should do that for a music video.
Dude, I would love to.
That
I
would
would
be
love. Are
crazy
you
to
kidding
have
me?
a
All of
lawbreaker.
dude, that would be so fun. Well, yeah, like put a pin. I'm glad that this is now recorded that we could just have that idea out there just to
We'll
reference
put
it.
a
But
pin.
yeah,
This whole thing is a pin.
yeah, exactly.
This whole fucking courtroom is a pin. Um, so he is prisoner KSC 303, our main character, and he is with another prisoner who quickly will become irrelevant. And let me tell you what I mean. So
You're right.
they run through the forest in this protracted and like kind of hilarious sequence, honestly.
Yeah.
And then they get to this like clearing with all this gravel, and a sedan pulls up, and out comes male Tifa, more Japanese Mike Shinoda.
Dude,
Um,
yes, I'm glad you brought him up. Oh my god.
is he not
So,
just
straight
he's
up, he's just hybrid theory Mike Shinoda. It's just and somehow him and Chester combined. Like it's literally just the both of them in one person. And like for for the video, so people can see this, it's kind of hard to see with the camera. But literally, I just have a note here. Homeboy just looks like Mike
it
Shinoda
says
from
that
Linkin
it says
Park.
that one dude looking real familiar.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just because
Uh,
he does have this sort of like it's like a mullet hawk,
yeah.
And
It's
I'm like that's a brave ass choice,
if
man.
you just look up Linkin Park Mike Shinoda hybrid theory, it's just gonna show this guy.
Jesus, but it's pretty
uh,
fucking funny.
that's so good. I'm so
So
glad you
so we have
included that.
male Tifa, more Japanese Mike Shinoda. We have Japanese Joker
Yeah,
or
The
uh
weirdest Suicide Squad.
yeah, or just basically Majima. Um and then we have
Oh,
gender fluid coded before gender fluid coded was the thing.
that thing, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Tell me
Oh my
there
god.
okay, so I'm gonna forget to mention it, but there's a moment later between him and the like very jokery guy
Mhm.
where like I was thinking it and then Amanda was like, so they're gay? And I was like,
Right,
I don't think I picked this up as a kid,
yeah.
but
As a
like
kid,
they're very
they're
clearly in
very,
love.
very gay, yeah.
It's like very obvious,
Hmm.
So
That's what I'm saying, but like it's also interesting too. And when we eventually get to our Ichi the Killer episode too, we'll also be exploring those themes again. And
oh,
like
that's an
we're
extremely homoerotic movie.
yeah, but it's like I didn't catch that upon the
That's
first watch,
that's
and then
about,
I was like,
that's about one man leaving jizz puddles behind for another man to play with.
yep, yeah, 100%, yep.
Moving
Oh
on.
man, moving on.
That's real.
Yep,
No, by which I mean the jizz. Moving
the
on.
jizz is
Uh,
real. Yep, and we'll cover that on the episode.
we sure will. So the gang, this foursome,
Oh.
uh, is it? Yeah, it's these.
I was gonna say I think it is four of them. I know there's so much happening at fucking breakneck speed, dude. I
No,
know.
you know what? There's five because of what happens here.
Mm.
So there's five of them. I can't remember what the last guy is like because again, he'll be irrelevant very soon.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
they come out of the car
Mhm.
and they start talking to the prisoners, and the prisoners are like, mainly the other prisoner is the mouthpiece. He's like, "Hey, this is great, cool, awesome. Glad this was like our plan for you to break us out of prison. Let's get the fuck out of here. The cops are
Mhm.
coming." And they're like, "No, he said for us to wait. We're waiting." And they're like, yeah, I don't think you heard. We just escaped from the prison, which is fairly nearby. The roads are going to be barricaded.
Yep.
We need to go." And they again are like, not really our problem. Orders are orders. We've been told to fucking cool it. And they're just like not very happy with that.
Mhm.
And then suddenly one of them goes back to the car and pulls out this young girl. Uh just the girl. No name.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yep, pretty much. Yeah.
pulls her out of the car and suddenly the prisoner is like, "Yo, what the fuck's going on?" And they're like, "Don't worry about it. It's not related to you. He told us to do this. That's what it is." And there's a great line here where he's like, "Yeah, well, you guys are doing some real shady shit. And the thing is, I'm a feminist. So I'm not going to let this
Yeah.
slide."
Yeah, I thought this was hilarious.
And he ends up I forget exactly how he gets the gun. There's like a little scuffle, and then one of them puts his hands on the woman, on the
Yeah.
girl, and gets a bullet in his head.
Hmm.
And then everyone starts pointing guns at each other. And the
Oh,
Joker
dude, there's
guy,
so many fucking Mexican standoffs in
oh my
this
God,
Japanese film. It is incredible.
it's a real Italian
Yeah.
job.
That was incredible.
I had to say something.
Amazing. Oh man, that's why we work so well together.
That's right.
Oh, so good.
I love every time the Joker guy is like in a thing, he like points the gun in these all these like unrealistic, ridiculous ways. That dude is just like he's getting paid by the facial expression.
Yeah, 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 for sure. He has like 20,000 in the course of two
It
fucking
is
minutes.
it is ridiculous. That dude is just a facial actor. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All the faces he makes later during the fights. There's a lot of hilarious like you
Oh my
know.
God, it's so funny, dude. He's like Mr. Bean, but on coke,
You
man.
know what?
It's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
He's Arthur Bean Fleck is who this guy is.
That's so good, yeah.
Wait, Bean Fleck.
A bean fleck? Flecking a bean?
Yeah, there's something there. I don't know what it means. We'll put a pin in that. So he ends up killing this guy. They all have this big Mexican standoff, even though they're all Japanese. And then suddenly, homeboy stands back up, and oh, you know what? This guy he kind of looks like a beetle. He's kind of
Yeah, 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 100%.
like
He's
a
got that
mod
haircut.
rocker.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
the
he's got
haircut. Yeah.
that John Paul and George bowl cut thing going on,
Yeah, 100%. Was it? He's
and
Sonny
he's wearing
and
a suit.
Cher.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
You're welcome.
So he gets back up and he grabs our gender fluid monarch. See what I did there?
I
By the
fucking
throat
I
and
love
lifts them into the air. And it's pretty crazy because he grabs them so hard that like their neck is bleeding from the grab.
Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah, it's intense because again, you don't expect like I don't know. Obviously, we've seen the horror elements of this movie already. Like it gets wild, but you don't expect the places that this movie goes. I think I don't know. Like that's
It's
just an
funny.
interesting little detail to add in. You know?
It's funny how it's like context. It's like if zombies are trying to like eat you, that's scary. If
Mhm.
zombies are trying to like karate fight you to death,
Or
that's
in
just
this case, fucking shoot you.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
fucking crazy, dude. That was
When
so
that part
funny.
happens, it's fucking absurd.
That's
But
what, yeah, that's what I just basically stood up and I was like, all right, I'm in.
it kind
Fucking
of
this got me.
it kind of takes it to a different place though, you know?
It
It's like
does,
it's all
dude.
about context. Like
Yeah.
there's horror games where the monster's not that scary, but the context is what makes it
Hmm.
scary. And then there's action games where in reality, like if that was the monster in the horror game, it would be a lot more fitting. But
It's the
because it's
difference
an action game,
between
you're just like, yeah, let's fight, fucker.
it's the difference between Doom and then your Resident Evils, like or like I said, specifically early game Resident Evils, where you're very underpowered, you're having to conserve your ammo in Resident
Hmm.
Evil. Doom, you're fucking literally equipped with infinite ammo. You just mow motherfuckers down. You know what I mean?
You're just on fucking a Black Beauty, like some
Hmm.
good trucker
Yeah,
speed, you know?
literally. Yeah, yes. So good. Yeah, 100%. It's literally just you. That's exactly right, and that's what. But also, I feel like it's interesting that this movie managed to also pay homage to those types of games. You know what I mean? Like to like, there really like there's literally just no denying that there was video game inspiration in these movies. You know,
Oh
there's
yeah.
no absolutely no denying it
Well,
whatsoever.
and video games inspired by this movie.
Inspired by this movie,
Because
yeah, and
it's at an interesting point right there in the in at 2000. So
yeah, for sure.
like there wasn't enough
Because by
like
this
too
time we
much.
had PlayStation, right? Like we had PlayStation like
Yeah,
90 something, right?
we I think PS2 is 2001.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's very interesting that this was on the cusp of all of these things,
Yeah,
you know?
PS1 is late 94. That's why they just did
Hmm.
the oh, well, you because you have an Xbox. They just did a PlayStation 30th anniversary
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
where
No,
like
I've
a
seen it. I've seen
okay.
Kojima like posing all over with it, flexing on
Well,
the internet.
not just the consoles, but on every console, they
Hmm.
like it does the PlayStation 1 startup sound right
Oh,
now.
really? That's cool. That actually is
Yeah,
neat. That is
yeah.
neat.
So they like put a bunch of shit in there.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. But yeah, so 94 is PS1. I think 2001 is PS2.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You do have those video games and everything that were pertinent to the culture at this time. Like very much Resident Evil was very much in people's heads during it had that like above all, Resident Evil has to be the one that inspired this movie. You
I
know what I
think
mean?
I think honestly, I think Paul W.S. Anderson
Hmm.
based a lot of the visual language of his movies on this movie.
A hundred percent.
I
Yeah,
think that's probably
absolutely.
the most connecting
Oh yeah.
tissue
Yeah.
because even so, do you know this? Devil May Cry
Hmm.
started as Resident Evil 4.
Yes, yes. Oh, I'm glad we get to talk. Damn, I never thought we'd get to talk about this on this show. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Go off, King.
So Devil May Cry started as Resident Evil 4. They
Yeah.
wanted to go in a new direction. They
Hmm.
wanted it to be, you know, a completely different game than the three before it.
Hmm.
And so they a lot of the DNA of what makes Devil May Cry what it is that they
Yeah.
wanted it to be different from Resident Evil, but it got
Hmm.
so different after a point that they were like, yeah, like this is a guy going through a castle and fighting undead shit, but like this is just a completely different
It's a
thing
different game now.
at
It's like
this
Final
point.
Fantasy's difference between like, the early ones and then now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
completely fucking different than it is.
Yeah, but they're just like this is not the same anymore.
Hmm.
It's become its own thing. Just give it a different name. Change the plot because now it doesn't have to be anything about Umbrella and whatnot, and so it
Yeah.
became more demonic and
Hmm.
everything. Um, but yeah, this it's just interesting, like the way it's like around that same time. Everything was just moving in that leather coats and
Yep.
swords and
Fighting demons and shit. Yeah, literally, that's all it was around this time. That's what I'm saying. Like that, you're exactly right. It is interesting how this is on the cusp of all of that too, because all of the 2000 early aughts were just that. It was just we got Blade in that time. I think was it
mm,
no Blade was in 99, right? Well, Blade was like 90, 98, 99. I think it was like right before this. So like you had, but then the Matrix I think was the same thing, like 90, 99. I want to say so you had all these inspirations going on, but like you're right, just early odds, everything was just this at that point. Everything was just leather clad and fucking swords and gun fu.
Yeah. And what a time to be alive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point too, because literally I don't think it's until Devil May Cry 3,
Hmm.
but eventually Dante does get a shotgun and
You
I
get a shotgun in all of them.
yeah, 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 but I mean specifically you have a move where he like whips it around
Whips
like
it around.
nunchucks.
Yeah, yeah, I love that shit, dude.
And he's like reloading and
Yeah,
breaking
dude.
it as he's yeah, it's like
Oh, that was
it's
so much
ridiculous.
fun, dude. It was so. Oh, you're making me fucking nostalgic for it. I want to play that game so bad again, dude. It's so fun.
I would love a true like gun fu game. There's
Yeah,
a
that's what I gotta. You know what? I'm probably gonna get those and just play those on stream. I think that's what I gotta do next. Those are fucking amazing. I
there's
love those games.
there's a PS2 game called Oni, but that's a conversation for another time.
Yeah, for sure. I have heard of it. I haven't played it yet, but yeah, I definitely have seen it
It's
around.
a cool fucking
It
game.
looks cool as shit. Yeah.
Um
Sorry, but we're
so
not. This isn't completely
yeah.
off topic. This the video game topic very much is important in this episode.
Yeah.
It
Exactly.
all
Get on.
fits, dude.
Don't fucking sweat us.
Exactly.
So so uh everybody unloads into the zombie uh consensually and heterosexually. And it's still standing, it's still fine. They shoot
Yeah.
it in the head and it lets go and finally slowly dramatically falls over and dies.
Mm.
And everybody like prisoner and Yakuza, they all teamed up to take it down. And then they all just stand there like absolutely fucking confused like what in the fuck just
Like,
happened?
yeah.
And they're like looking at it. Everybody's kind of processing, and the other prisoner is close to the body, and so is the Jokery guy. And the Joker kind of guy just looks over at him and just casually pulls his gun up and just blows his brains out.
Yeah. It was
And
crazy. I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
the main prisoner and the girl are like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And they're like, "Wait, hold on. You know, we're just seeing something." And the prisoner gets back up. So they all unload again, and they use this as their opportunity to run away.
Yeah. Yeah. They bolt out of there. But it's just such a fucking crazy way to test the theory. You know what I mean? Like that's some shocking shit to see. Like, hold on, let me check something real quick. Boom.
Yeah, let me just see how this works.
It's fucking wild, dude.
And so they chase after them into the forest, and oh, I totally forgot about this till I looked at my notes. Um, the Charlie's Angel pose that they all do.
Oh my god, it's so fucking funny, dude. That shit was yeah, you're totally right. Charlie's Angels is such an accurate description for that.
Yeah, they do such a ridiculous Charlie's Angels pose,
Yeah,
and then just
yeah.
start blasting this guy.
Oh man. Yeah,
Um,
they definitely RoboCop this motherfucker.
yeah, just turn him into nothing. So as they're going through the forest, the girl and the prisoner come across a man crucified to a tree, and this is where he steals his leather clothes so that
Yeah,
he could look
this
cool for
the
the rest of the
design on that
movie.
shit. Yeah, you're 100% right. He does just steal his cool guy outfit from here. But like the looks of this one actually look really good. That's what I'm saying. Like for them to pull off what they did with the money that they had or lack thereof is more impressive now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's always really impressive when you like actually find out about how um practical stuff is made. It's usually
Hmm.
just like, yeah, I just went and bought like a fucking pre-made lasagna and then we just like put a layer over it that kind of looks like stomach skin and then we
Exactly.
just fucking stuck a knife into it and so it looks all crazy, you
Yep,
know,
exactly.
like
And if you've listened to this show, listen to our Jim Ojala interview, and that's exactly what the fuck he has talked
make
about.
things wet.
Yes, make things wet. Exactly. That's the one thing we learned from him that is instilled now. If you want to make something look good on screen, make it pop, you make it look wet. That's it.
Yeah, good luck, virgins. So
Oh man.
so after stealing the clothes, he is confronted by male Tifa,
Yeah.
and this is
It doesn't ever not get me. It's so
I was like every time he popped up, I was like, this dude is just Tifa with no boobs. That's
it's so good. It's in the glasses too. Like it's just everything about him totally like but yeah, you're completely that's so goddamn funny, dude.
so he shows up and this is where the runner starts of the girl doesn't want him to fight. And so he just like karate chops her in the neck every time he
Dude,
wants to
oh my
fight
god. It's
people.
some Three Stooges shit. It's
It's
so
so
funny. It's so
it's
funny.
it's like so strange and like it's I'm like, oh
It's
well
so
that didn't age
dumb.
well.
Yeah, exactly. It's so dumb, but I was just like, what the fuck? Like, he's like, no, I'll protect you. Bah.
Yeah, let me
Just
protect you
drops her.
by hitting you.
Just drops her.
That's the
Like you could
policeman's
just
pledge.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
40%
Yep, yep.
reported. Um and
Hey
the
cat brother. I mean amen, brother.
male Tifa has like a huge revolver as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And he dramatically like throws his gun away as they're like pointing their guns at each other to be like, "All right, let's fight for real."
Mhm.
And then as he rushes in, the prisoner just like puts
Yeah.
his gun in his face, you
Yeah.
know?
It's like what okay, I'm just gonna do this then.
He's like, "Yeah, I'm not throwing my gun away." And then I think he just disarms him and they get into a fight and it's, very very well choreographed. All of these fights
Dude,
are.
all of the fights are really well done. That's the thing. Like that's what trips me out because everything hits. The choreography, the horror elements, the makeup and stuff. Like that $10,000 is fucking insane. That keeps ringing in my head. Now every single sentence you're saying, I'm just like, they did that with no money, bro.
Yeah,
No
absolutely
money.
fucking none.
Nuts.
Well, and then even the scene that follows is crazy to think about in that context because while
Mhm.
they're fighting, we see that the other three are moving through the forest, and the Mike Shinoda guy, they describe him as a runt. So like the prisoner, the runt, the girl, and the man have like the most defined names, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty much it. Those are just characteristics of theirs.
Yeah. So the runt guy, Mike Shinoda, is like, guys, we come to this forest so often. We have buried so many bodies here.
That's what, yeah, that tripped me out as soon as he said that.
Yeah, so this is the big bad's plan is that he formed this Yakuza family to kill all these people, to stuff this forest with bodies for this moment.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy cool writing. That's crazy fucking cool writing.
It's pretty cool how it's revealed and he's like, "Where
Yeah.
are they?"
Hmm.
He's like, "We've buried so many bodies here.
Hmm.
Where are they?" And then the shot reverses and we see just like hundreds of shallow graves that are just empty.
Yeah, dude. It's so cool. It's a good reveal, man.
And all of a sudden they look around and there's just like 50 corpses ready to fight them.
Hmm. Hmm.
And and then
Fucking locked and loaded, bro.
they they all pull out guns.
It's
All the zombies pull out guns. It's like so quick. It's like it goes right to it. They don't like waste any fucking
There's
time.
literally no time wasted. They're just fucking like,
Because I guess most of them are other yakuza, so they're just killing
yeah,
them, and then they're like, "Well, I gotta get rid of this guy's gun. I'll
yeah,
just
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
put it
yeah.
in the hole with him."
Yeah, so it doesn't like not make sense within the context of the movie. That's what's
It
crazy
it
about
makes
it.
sense why all these corpses are strapped,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
because these guys do not seem good at their jobs.
Yeah, 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 exactly. They just seem incompetent, so that exactly within the context of the movie it
It
works.
seems
But
like
why
they
the
were like,
fuck
"Look,
are
look." They were
zombies
like, "Look,
shooting us?
dig a hole for a guy, go to the other side of the forest and dig a hole for the gun. I can
Hmm.
just put both things in one hole."
Yeah, exactly.
This is a real, like procrastinating fucking you right,
Yep. Yeah.
like,
Yep. 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 Yeah, that's so fucking funny, dude.
well, if
I
it
just
isn't the consequences of my own actions.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100%. It's just when the zombie fucking raised the hand with the gun, I was like, oh
Yeah.
my
You were
God,
like, what is
no.
happening right now? Because they're all like decrepit and like slow
Oh,
moving
it's
when they
so
when they first
fun.
start, and then they get like really 28 days like actiony.
Yeah,
Yep.
dude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It does jump rope with the laws of zombies, of zombie, like zombie rules that that they adhere to and then just don't.
I should point out too our genderqueer monarch. I don't know if you
Yeah.
noticed this. Everyone else has like one weapon,
Uh,
but they have a machine pistol, a full
yeah.
automatic rifle,
Yeah. Yep.
and a sawed-off shotgun.
Yeah. Strap the fuck up, dude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shit. Yeah, it's hard, dude. That's what I'm saying. It's just a fun
A,
ass
a,
movie.
a, a true role model for the gays and theys.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Stay strapped. And whatever that means to you,
Yep,
however you
absolutely.
interpret that,
However you interpret it.
however you interpret it. Um,
Oh, it's so fucking funny, dude.
so in the middle of their fight, male Tifa hears the gunshots of the other fight going on,
Mhm.
and there's like a lull in the combat, and he takes off running. And then the prisoner looks at the girl and goes, "Yeah, I got about 5 minutes left on this thing," and runs after male Tifa. He's like, "Yeah, she'll be fine," you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, 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 for sure.
They end
5
up,
minutes left.
he for real, he's like, I got time left on the meter. It's good.
Uh, it's so true.
That's exactly what he fucking
It's
does.
so goddamn funny.
And so
Oh, so
they get to the clearing where the other fight is going on, and they all kind of end up teaming up to fight the zombies again. And it ends with another big Mexican standoff
hmm
where male Tifa pulls his gun out and stops them from killing the prisoner, reminding them that their orders are to leave him and the girl alive until the boss gets there. And the prisoner leaves, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "It makes it easier. He'll go get her, and then we get them together. There's more of us. It's simple."
hmm
And they're like, "Oh, okay, okay, cool, cool, cool," and kneecap him and tell him that they don't give a shit about orders.
Yeah.
They're gonna take over. The boss is coming here to die.
hmm Which is interesting, like, given they've brought up that this is the resurrection forest. Like, so was like the plan to lure him there for that explicit reason for him to die, so that he can get resurrected. I don't.
No, these guys just want to take over.
Okay, okay. So it literally is just a hostile takeover then. Okay.
Yeah, there's one guy, potentially, I mean, potentially three guys who are loyal,
hmm
but the Joker guy and the genderqueer one
hmm
that I'm joking about, the one
hmm
with the glasses, um, they are apparently gay lovers and going to take over this crime syndicate, this Yakuza
Oh, okay,
family.
okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that makes a lot more yeah, yeah, because I needed that connect because that's what I'm saying later on. So much is just being thrown at you so fast in this fucking movie. It is a lot to parse out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So they basically tell him like we don't care about orders. You're the only one who cares about the boss. We're just gonna kill you and we're gonna take over. And also in the middle of this fight, the runt is like freaking out, and while the guy with the glasses is fighting like grappling with a zombie, he
Mm.
ends up shooting him in the arm instead of the
Yeah,
zombie.
that was
And then
hilarious because he's just like, shit, shit. I'm sorry. Like I didn't
mhm,
mean. So he's like a little brother who like hurts his sibling.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, don't tell mom. Don't tell
Don't
mom.
tell
Oh
mom.
my
Don't tell
God.
mom.
When I was a kid, my brother and I were playing football and he tackled me.
Oh yeah.
Like how two kids playing football play football, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we were in the like field behind our house and there was a metal grate that I hit my head on without knowing and I cracked my head open.
Oh shit.
So to me, that's the classic all time, like, because he starts going, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I
Yeah,
didn't mean it. I'm so sorry." And then he like turns around and starts running. And I'm like, "What's,
yeah.
what are you talking about?" I'm like, "Oh, my head itches. Whoa, why is my head so wet? Whoa, my hand is
Oh.
red. Oh my God, my all my clothes are covered in blood. What is happening?"
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, so
my
that's
God. Yeah, yeah, 100%. That's literally the feeling you just described is this scene. It's
yeah, yeah,
literally.
very much so. Very much so.
Oh, that's so fucking. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's
And then
fucking wild.
what's even more crazy is that my grandma was watching us and
Uh-huh.
she never had a car. So when we were with her, she would just like walk us everywhere.
No.
And she didn't have a car. My mom was at work. I come in with my cranium rent
It's
asunder.
fucking your insides on your outside.
Like, I don't know if you could fucking like see my brain or nothing. I don't think it was
Yeah,
that
yeah,
bad, but that was
yeah.
my shit was my coconut was split.
Yeah, 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 for
And
sure.
she was like, "I just lay on the couch with a towel under your head."
God damn, bro, sleep that shit off. That's
She was
fucking
born she was born like 5 years before the depression. That lady was like, "I don't want to fucking hear your problems. I
that's
want to
some
fucking hear what you're going through."
I'm glad you're still alive. God damn,
Nah,
bro.
don't take it wrong. She was great. She was very
Uh,
compassionate. She obviously loved us, but like she just I don't know. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I don't know why
Sleeping off
I
some wild shit.
I can't defend the decision in all honesty. I don't know. I don't know what she was thinking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We all know health coverage is a bitch in this country.
Yeah, I just lay on the couch. You'll be fine.
That's fucking insane. Okay, let's get back
Yeah.
to this movie. That's fucking nuts.
Anyway,
Oh,
anywho,
that's so
anywho,
fun. I love the departures we've been taking for this episode.
it's been
It's
a
so fun.
wacky ride.
This is a good ass episode.
We're both obviously reeling. I don't know when this
Uh,
episode comes out, but the fires in LA are happening right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
So,
So to break kayfabe for a second, yeah, we are recording this just after all of the fires have broken out in LA. I am the only one of the podcast who resides in LA, and
mhm.
actually very not very far from the Eaton fire as it happens. So things were a little touch and go there for a second, and the social media and all that shit fell off by the wayside. It's been a very stressful, very shitty, very fucking heartbreaking week. And yeah, it's just nice to fucking laugh for a little bit and talk about
Yeah,
something else for a
yeah,
second.
yeah. So I'm definitely playing it up a little bit to,
I appreciate
help
you.
you have a better
I
moment in your life right
appreciate
now.
you. Thank you, man. Yeah.
So he runs away. Runs away. The
Mhm.
prisoner runs away. The two that are betrayers announce that they're betrayers, and male Tifa is hobbled and left for dead in the middle of the forest. And they tell him, "Do us a favor and die slow so that we don't have to kill you again."
That's again bars, bro. I was like, God damn, bro, that is some fucking shit to tell someone. That's a bar right there.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit. There's a
That
lot of
is
just like
fucking.
There's a lot of just rolling around in fucking actual forest floor that I just would not
Yeah.
be a part of.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Dude, the people that made this movie fucking loved making this movie. They had to. There's no way you don't get a group
I'm
of people like this together to do this
there's like
specifically.
multiple times where people have like horribly disgusting like ancient fucking decomposing
Hmm.
shrubbery in their
Hmm.
mouths and I'm just like couldn't be me.
Yeah,
Couldn't
yeah,
be
dude, for
me.
sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're gonna have to fucking kill me first. Yeah,
No
for
thanks, dude.
sure. 100%. Yeah, that's what it's like that, and in that regard too, it reminds me of the Evil Dead. Like
Oh,
how punk
big time.
rock and how like
Big
yeah,
time.
it's so cool how the parallels to that movie exist in this movie.
I
It's like, yeah.
think uh so in influences Kitamura says that this movie pays homage to films like The Evil Dead
Has to.
and Highlander.
Yeah, yeah, has to.
It it's
There's
it's
no way. You're absolutely right.
it's it's
100%.
evil. It's literally just those two movies mashed up.
It is at oh wow, that's fucking crazy. Dude, I love this goddamn movie. This is fucking cool. I'm so glad you showed me this movie, man. That's awesome.
He said that he made the creative decision to combine all these elements of multiple genres and multiple styles of fighting
Wow.
and action, zombies, horror, comedy, because he didn't believe that he'd ever make another film. Like he
Wow.
was like, if this isn't successful, this will be the first and last movie I ever make. So I want to do everything that I want to do. I'm gonna do it all right now.
That's the fuck dude, I fuck with this motherfucker. I dude, that is so cool. That just made me like hyped to hear. You know what I mean? Like that's so cool. That's what a wild swing. What a wild fucking swing this is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy.
That's nuts, man. It's just so ambitious as a movie. And then we're gonna talk about it, not spoilers for the ending, but like the sequel potential is there, man. It's there. It's fucking crazy. It's so cool. Where is that fucking sequel, man?
I want it really bad. Really
Oh,
bad.
I'm salivating for it now, dude. Especially with update, like give this motherfucker a budget. Let him just go off. Oh my God.
Oh, there's a part where so when they're like telling him that they're betraying him, they carve like they do this several times in this movie. They're
Uh-huh.
carving his face or like the Joker guy is
Oh
carving his
yeah.
face with a knife.
Yeah.
All I could think is literally one of your tattoo sessions.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah, it
literally
totally
just
it totally
like
is. Yeah. Yeah.
like you take the clip of this guy getting his face cut open to Victoria and you're like, "Can we do this?
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
we do
yeah.
this?" And she's like,
100%. It totally is. Yeah.
"You just want me to cut you?" Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Don't make it weird.
God.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, 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 100%. That yeah, it's you're right. Now that you keep saying it, you're making more of a case for him just being Joker. You're right.
He is the gosh dang jonkler.
Yeah, he is definitely the Joker if I've ever seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, but so are you, because
Yeah,
the face tattoos. Come on now.
yeah, yeah, 100%.
Just just the like it really made me think of the Kakihara scars.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was just
yeah.
like I was like this is just quicker.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's literally yeah, you're 100% right. You're totally right. He
You're like
totally
next
and
time
it's
I am just gonna ask her to stab
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Have you heard of this new style of tattoo? You just stab me.
It's just stabbing me.
I should be clear because I'm like wearing a hoodie and all this shit. Like I have a
Uh,
lot of tattoos as
yeah,
well,
yeah,
just not
yeah.
as many as Joey and not on my face,
Not the
obviously.
facial ones, yeah.
It's just not for me. That doesn't
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
looks cool on him. It's just not for me.
You'll earn it one day. It's all good.
Yeah, maybe. Um, so this is where we get introduced to this weird ass fucking. It's so just a Yakuza side mission.
Yeah. Yeah.
These cops get introduced, and it's complete with even like goofy ass music. Like I just hear
Yeah. It's so dude, we didn't even talk about the music for this movie. It actually fucking slaps, dude. The movie goes so hard with the
Yeah,
music. It's so weird.
it's uh it's got some really great music for
Like the
sure.
techno, that's the thing too, though. Like that's what I love about Japanese films in general. The score generally is a lot fucking groovier, a lot like more rhythm based, like a lot more percussion and shit. A lot of and this one I noticed has a lot of synths, and which is very just fucking chef's kiss for the time.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. It just fits the period like a glove. Like so good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got a very interesting soundscape to it for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
got it's a it's I mean, yeah, it's all original soundtrack. I mean, it's not a 10 grand, you're not getting needle
That's what
drops,
I'm
you know.
saying, dude. Fucking, that's wild to me that they fucking made this for nothing.
Oh,
For
I forgot
such
to
a
mention at the beginning of the movie, the main character has handcuffs stuck to him, and on so one is cuffed to his
mm,
hand and one is cuffed to a disembodied hand.
I
And
forgot about that.
and then he
Yeah.
takes the hand and throws it away. And then there's this goofy scene where he just like takes the bobby pin from behind the girl's ear that every woman apparently has
Yeah.
behind her ear. Ridiculous.
It's so funny, dude.
And he breaks the cuffs with them. And then at this point when we get introduced to the cops, we see where the hand came from because their car is flipped over
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
both crawl out and there's a guy who's missing his hand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A pretty good, solid little review again for like what the movie is. That's very good. They're very efficient with everything. Everything is effectively used. Everything is very, very much. The fight scenes are the perfect length. The pacing of the movie is totally fine. It moves right along. It doesn't ever like stay in one spot for too long. You have a lot of characters to cycle through, so it makes it more interesting to watch in that way, you know. So I don't know. Just the more we talk about this movie, I'm realizing I actually really fucking love this movie.
It's very, very silly.
It's very, very silly,
It's
but oh god damn, is it a fun time, man?
Well, speaking of silliness, we get this whole thing where the cops are their cars flipped and one of them's missing a hand and the other one's in a suit and the guy in a suit is just constantly saying like these really dumbass, ridiculous, like self-aggrandizing things
Oh,
about how he's like faster than bullets and you can call him the fighter and all these things. And
so funny, dude. It's so good.
some random drives up and is like, "Hey, what's going on? Are you okay?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, I'm a cop." Blah blah blah, and shows him his badge, the guy without a hand, and the person goes, "Oh, officer," and then the cop goes, "Don't call me that," and shoots him in the head and fucking kills him. And then they take his
Stop
card.
resisting.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah, America Simulator, America Speed
Exactly.
Run, Life in America Speed Run, any percent.
That's good. Yeah.
Jesus.
Uh, yeah.
Um,
40%.
so then we get a scene where another car shows up and we get three more people appear. And it's kind of confusing to understand what's going on here.
That's what I mean. Like a bunch of characters start getting flung at you.
So the guys who are doing the coup
Hmm.
called three assassins to help them kill their boss and take over the Yakuza.
Mm-hmm.
They
Hmm.
might just be other Yakuza members, but this synopsis is calling them assassins. That's kind of they're called to kill this guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So their leader, the man, shows up, and instantly you're like, "Oh shit, that's that fucking sorcerer guy."
Mm-hmm.
And the five of them circle around him, tell him he's fucked. They're gonna kill him, and one of them has a shotgun and shoots him with it. And he lifts his hand up,
Oh,
takes it to the back of
it's
his hand
so good.
and then drops all the buckshot. And I was like, man,
Because
that's an underutilized trope.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's Matrix as fuck. Like it's just Matrixy as fuck. Like
Yeah, very much.
super fun. Super fun. And
Very,
it's
very,
effective.
very much.
Yeah, yeah.
Is the Matrix 99?
I think so. Yeah, I literally think it,
I
yeah,
think it is
I'm
because there's some
almost
shit in this
positive.
where I'm like, they for sure have seen the
That's
Matrix.
what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah. You know what? I'm looking that up right now. Yep, 99.
Okay, good.
Yep, 1999.
Yeah, because I was like, I can't uh logically like justify living in a world where this predates the
This predates
Matrix.
it. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
There's no way. There's no
100%.
way. There's no way that the Matrix it goes the way it goes
Yeah,
very
yeah.
clearly.
Exactly.
Um, so he easily wins. He kills all five of them.
hmm
He just tells them all they're a bunch of bitches and kills all five of them. He reaches into the glasses guy's back and grabs him by the heart and is like crushing his heart and makes him blow his own brains out to escape from it.
He just fatalities the motherfucker. It's just a fatality.
Yeah, he fatalities fucking all of them.
It's so good though. It's so good. It's so fun to watch this goddamn like R-rated Power Rangers scene take place.
Yeah. And then we have so two of the assassins escape. One is a woman who's like a Wing Chun master,
hmm
and she goes and confronts the prisoner and the girl, and she gets the upper hand on the prisoner for a second, which is interesting because it just feeds into the long line of like Wing Chun because of Bruce Lee treated as like the ultimate fighting style.
hmm
And then the girl hits her with like a log and knocks her out. And she's like, I thought you were gonna lose. And he's all like upset about it. And at this point, he's knocked her out twice to fight people.
It's
And then this time he
uh,
tries to knock her out and she dodges it because she sees
mhm.
it coming, which kind of legitimized that like shitty trope because they put a hat on it at the end.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
But I
exactly.
understand if you don't like the guy hitting the girl to protect her, it's weird.
It's fucking weird. And it's again, it's but just it's so absurd and it becomes cartoony. Like that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like it doesn't cry. It never becomes like, ooh, that's uncomfortable. Like it just means it's just like, oh my god, like there's a boink sound at the end of you know what I mean? There might as well just be that like, and like birds spinning up overhead or some shit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the with the fucking whistling and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, exactly.
And then there's a guy who I just called Matrix guy, but really he just looks
They're all
like
Matrix guys.
yeah, they are all Matrix guys. So what does that do? Um, he's the dude. I think he has dyed red hair and like sunglasses, and he's
Yeah.
wearing like the windbreaker raver
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
aesthetic.
yeah, 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 yeah. The other Mike Shinoda-esque of this movie.
Yeah, I think he fights the man, and the man punches him through the head, and we get this crazy shot where you
So
see through
cool.
his head,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
like there's teeth left.
Dude, that was so well done. Off of $10,000. How the fuck did they make this movie?
It
It's
is
fucking nuts, dude.
absolutely insane.
Nuts, man. I love it.
Um, and then so he kills him, and then he like revives him and sends him after the prisoner and the girl. But before they fight him, the prisoner, like the whole time, him and the girl keep being like, "Why do we kind of remember some of this? Why do we not?" And then they're like, "What? Who were you before this? What was your life before this?" And suddenly they both realize like, we don't remember anything. Like, what is happening here?
Yeah, I thought this
And
was interesting.
he tells,
Sort of like Assassin's Creed, like
yeah, yeah, it's like souls reverberating kind
yeah,
of a
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So he tells her that he thinks that she knows more than she's saying, and she's like, "So you really don't remember anything?"
Mhm.
And that's when the guy who was just killed shows up. They have a big dramatic fight, and he's like flying around the like raver aesthetic dude,
Yep.
very Crouching Tiger as
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
wire fighting kind of shit going on.
Yeah, dude. Oh God, such a fun ass fucking. He's he's such a fun character too. I think like just aesthetically and just like his fight style is fun.
It's funny because I never thought about it because in movies usually it doesn't matter, but I'm realizing everybody ran out of bullets in the middle of this movie, and that's why they all
Yeah.
start just fist fighting each other.
Yeah. I was gonna say that too. Like when you were bringing up earlier too. Like I was just like I put in my notes here. Like there's an excellent use of like different weapons, like the just the weapon styles and like the fighting styles and stuff. And then not to mention the weapons themselves look fucking awesome.
Yeah,
All of the swords look fucking great. The guns look fucking great. That's what I'm saying. Like I would have the budget for the movie just had to have gone into the props.
I think
It couldn't have gone into the costumes unless it was like that flashback scene. You know what I mean? Where like they're all wearing those fucking awesome fits. But I feel
yeah.
like that's where the money might have went to, but like god damn the props look good.
Yeah, there's one sword in particular. I don't want to give it away, but we'll talk about it when we get there. But there's one sword in particular that's really crazy.
It's cool as shit. Yeah.
Um, so then he's like tired. He's beaten down after beating this guy, and the man shows up and explains to him that they are reincarnated, that their souls are constantly in battle with each other, that he needs the blood of a sacrifice, which is her, and the power of the forest for him to get the power of darkness and be able to like consume everything.
Hmm.
And it's like very vague, what any of that even really means.
Yeah. I just think I'm flashing back to DOA 3 again.
Very
Definitely
much
dead or
so.
alive. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So he reveals that 500 years ago, uh, they were fighting over this girl, and he said, "You did something very stupid, and I had to kill you, and I've
Hmm.
been waiting for you to come back. But now you're a prisoner. You have a different heart. You have a different mind. I like this version of you better as a vicious criminal."
Okay. Yeah. I was trying to make sense of this little monologue here, but okay, that made everything click right now.
And I forget there's something where they say, I forget exactly where they say it. It's somewhere in here, but he basically says like, and it's funny because again, this is a JoJo thing. There's a character named Caesar in JoJo where they say the same thing. They're like, he did every crime there is, and it's just like every
Every crime.
crime. We're
I mean,
sure about that.
are we like we're talking like jaywalking to arson? Like where
To fucking rape and molestation,
exactly? Like what are we talking about?
every crime. Every crime. We're sure every crime. That's what we're saying.
I love
Okay.
that again. You just got your mandatory JoJo reference this
Yeah,
episode.
it got there. Cause same thing.
Yeah.
That's a good
And
guy in JoJo.
100%, yeah, it is apt. You're 100% right though. But it's apt for this conversation again because it's the most anime
Yeah.
ass movie we've ever covered,
It
probably.
really fucking is. It's very Afro Samurai as well.
Yeah, for sure. Man, it's just making
Uh,
me want to watch all these again.
big time.
God damn.
So he says, yeah, there's these portals. I want to open the portal here. That's what I need. Her blood to open the portal to get the power.
Hmm.
And unable to accept the explanation, the prisoner attempts to kill the man, but is killed himself instead. And he does this crazy thing too, where I don't know if you're into Jujutsu Kaisen, but
No,
uh,
I've just seen it from afar.
well, they do this thing in that show called domain expansion, where
Hmm.
they like have like personal alternate dimensions where they'll just be like, sometimes it's just a battle for whoever opens their domain first will win.
Hmm.
Because some of them will be like, I'm a fire demon, so my domain is like there's fucking lava everywhere and it burns you, but it doesn't hurt me, so like, fuck you, eat shit. And then there's other people who are crazy powerful where they're like, yeah, this is mine is like refractions of infinity and you'll never touch me because the Zeno's arrow paradox and like all this bullshit. But he basically
Is it
does
similar to Stans in JoJo?
no, because instead of like physical manifestation, it's just like
Hmm.
literally me and you'll be fighting and I'll go
Hmm.
domain expansion and then me and you will just disappear from reality
Oh, so it's just
to a
like
to
okay, like literally bring it back to Mortal Kombat where you go into another part of the map. Like,
Yeah, so you just go to like this reality marble and
oh,
fight there, and then afterwards you just come back to
okay,
reality.
okay.
So he kind of does
Interesting.
that. They're like
Yeah.
in front of the girl, then all of a sudden the color grading changes,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like
Mm-hmm.
looking around like, where'd they go? And then they're like flying around, zipping
So
around like
cool, dude.
mountains and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he throws him down a cliff after he kills him, and the girl manages to reach his body and give him some of her blood before she gets taken.
Mm-hmm.
And because she gave him her blood, he's resurrected as himself instead of a zombie. And so he has a big flashback of his
Yeah,
past life.
she says something like I can only do it once or something like that, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was trying to keep track of it, but yeah, I think she I don't know if it was here or later on if she says that,
Yeah,
but she says something
I
about
think
that.
it's here, or maybe after
Mm,
he comes back she like
mm.
reveals it or something, but yeah, she's more aware of who she is than he is at this point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So her giving, and I guess it's because of her blood and whatever. So
Mm,
she gives him her blood. He regains his knowledge of his past life. He is the ally who
mm.
showed up too late, and he gets just completely fucking obliterated by the whole gang. Um,
Gets RoboCopped.
and I just played Black Myth Wukong, and there's a
Mm,
character in it who fights with a rake, and one of these characters does as well. And I was like, huh, I don't know enough about Journey to the West to like make that parallel,
mm,
but I wonder if there is like a Journey to the West thing going on here, because that's kind of like from what I understand from playing that game, that's kind of a thing is that like he gains everything he wanted, but also it's shackles him. Like when Wukong
yeah.
becomes a god, now
Mm.
he has the duties of a god, so he doesn't want to be a god anymore.
Fair, yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
interesting. Yeah, yeah. That fear, or not even the fear. That's the careful what you wish for.
Yeah,
Type of thing. Yeah, that's just that old uh
that old
fucking phrase.
adage.
Yeah, adage. That was the word I was
Yeah.
looking for. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. I just caught the rake thing and I'm just like, huh, that's like weirdly specific. I wonder if like that's kind of what's happening is like we're led to sort of think that this guy is Sun Wukong, but maybe he's not because the guy with the rake is Sun Wukong's ally, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I know, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what's making me also want to go back and watch this again for a second, like to try and piece together this story a little bit better.
I gotta find someone who really knows Journey to the West and then just have them watch this and then just be like, "Do you think there's anything?" Because I
Yeah,
it's just not in my
yeah.
brain. I don't know what I'm fucking looking for here.
Like a comedian ask, "Is this anything? Is this
Yeah,
anything?"
yeah. Is this anything? Just something. Um. So before he dies, though, he realizes the only way to win is to kill the girl. So in the past, he killed her, and that's how he killed her. And then the man he gets enraged because his whole plan is thrown to shit.
Mhm.
So he kills the prisoner back when he was a samurai. I know it's very confusing, listener.
Because even I'm trying to like piece together because I'm also like because I remember she says something about the fact that she can only do this once the whole thing with her blood and she says that either you kill me now or wait for me to be resurrected or something like that. I remember at one point she says that line
Mm.
because like I guess like yeah it's every life cycle she's
I
able
th-
to do it once. I don't know if
I
that's
think that's in the past where she's like, "Take me out, let's be done."
oh okay okay.
But yeah, he kills her and then gets killed,
Mm.
and then the man has to wait 500 years for them to resurrect.
Yeah, okay, okay, that's
So presumably he spent 500 years with different criminal organizations
mm,
stuffing this forest full of bodies to have an undead army for this fight.
interesting. Interesting. That's cool. That's cool as fuck. God damn, that's dope.
So the following morning, the prisoner is alive
Mm.
and I can't remember. I like looked away because I was doing my notes, but I don't think his sword even comes from anywhere. I think the sword just fucking like materializes in the final scene.
It might. I don't even know.
Like
The shit.
he just shows up and there's like this subplot with the cops where like they're searching for him as well, and as like the whole thing with him getting killed happens, the runt runs into the Wing Chun fighter, and she's like, why don't I just kill you? And he's like, I know this forest really well. I can get you out of here. And she's like, okay, but don't forget that I can kill you at any moment. And she turns her back, and he like hesitates for a second, and then goes to lift his gun to point it at her,
That
and
was
she just
so
turns
funny.
around, and he like starts scratching his head
Yeah,
with it, and like
that shit was so funny.
so ridiculous. So they end up teamed up, and then the two cops take this crazy gigantic, like if a Barrett is a 50 cal, this is a 500
Oh
cal
my god,
sniper
the sniper
rifle.
rifle was so good.
And they're like, we're gonna find these guys, so they're chasing after them with this sniper
Oh
rifle.
my god.
And those two groups come into contact, the police and the runt and the Wing Chun master. And the police like confront them, and he's like, I can tell you're a fighter too. And they like have this shitty little kung fu battle, and
Uh,
then the other cop is like staring down the runt and trying to keep him preoccupied, and then the runt decides to try to get involved and shoots at the fight happening and fucking blows her brains out and kills
that
her.
fucking cracked me up, dude. Oh my
It's like built up like it's
god.
gonna be the craziest fight because they already showed that she outclasses the
Hmm.
prisoner because she
Hmm.
like whooped his ass when they
Yeah.
fought.
And then just fucking no.
So yeah, so she just so and then the fighter too, he's like really building himself up by being like, yeah, call me the fighter, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, 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 for sure, for sure.
And then that happens, and then the runt like runs to their car and steals the gun from them, and then they start chasing him through the forest, and finally he ends up in front of the prisoner who takes the gun from him and kills him. And then the fighter's like, you think your puny gun can stop me? I can move so much faster than a bullet. And he
Oh
takes his
my
coat off
god.
and he takes his tie off. And then he's like, let's go, let's go. And then like as he lifts the gun up to shoot at him, he just starts doing the Matrix
The
lean,
Matrix, literally, he does the Matrix.
like way ahead of time. And then he just gets shot and like fucking explodes. Like
It just gets evaporated, like literally.
absolutely comically. I can't remember what happened. Oh, and then the other cop with
Oh.
with the one hand, he's like, "Come on, at least throw me a hand here." And so he just with the sword picks up a random hand off the ground and throws it at him. And when the guy catches it, it's another left hand and his right hand is missing. And he's like, "Fuck you, I'd have two left hands now." And then he gets killed.
Dude, it's so, oh my god, that's what I'm saying. The comedy bits in this, they're so well done. The timing in here is so fucking funny. Like it just becomes, you know what it becomes? It's also what's it, Doctor Strangelove.
Yes,
It
big
very
time.
much
Oh
just
my God.
slapsticky and like very just very played very straight though, you know?
Speaking of that, before the runt dies, the way that the gun actually gets to the prisoner, he turns around and shoots it at the cops. And when he shoots it, he goes flying like 300 feet
Oh
through the
my god,
forest.
it's so good.
Like it just takes him off his feet and he goes fucking
It's
flying.
That's like the Evil Dead like bit right there too.
Yeah,
Is very much. Oh my god, this movie is fucking phenomenal, man. All right, yeah, I love it. I love it so goddamn much.
it's so fucking silly. He says my reflexes are 500 times faster than Mike Tyson's, which
Yeah.
after the Jake Paul fight, not that impressive. Not that impressive. So they're the speed of a normal man.
Yeah, that one didn't age well.
I'm so kidding. He obviously threw that fight. It was bullshit and I hate it. I just wanted to see Jake Paul die. It's revealed that the man has a cool, crazy sort of destiny as well. there was a
Uh,
suitcase that when he first showed up, he handed it to the assassins and the
mhm.
betrayers, like he was like paying them, and then he took it back after he turned them into his zombies, and it turns out he has like this goofy ass modular sword that like all clicks together, and he's like looking at it like, oh, what side goes where? So he like puts the whole sheath together and the handle, and then clicks a button, and then pulls out a sword, which
It's
is so silly. But yeah, they spent money on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it had to, like, the money had to have gone to the props. If anything, the props are what I believe they spent the money on.
No, no doubt,
Because I don't think
absolutely no doubt.
again, I don't think anybody fucking barely got fed in this
I
motherfucker.
mean the giant gun, as comical as it is, it doesn't look like it's not a real gun.
No, that's what I
You know,
mean. Like everything looks good.
like it's obviously silly. It's obviously not a real gun, but like it looks surprisingly good.
That's what I
You
mean. It's
know?
like an anime level of like attention to the weapons and everything. It's very, very interesting. It's a very interestingly handled movie in general.
Yeah. I wish, in all honesty, we cannot do the fight choreography in this movie justice. You
Mm-mm.
just have to go see it.
Yeah.
You have to watch it. The final fight in this movie is incredible.
Mm.
He fights against the entire gang while the man just like sits there waiting for him. And then when they finally get down to it, they just have like one of the best fucking sword fights
It's
that
so
there is in
fucking good.
movies.
Yeah. That's what I mean, dude. Like it's just as an action movie, it works, but it's also a horror film. But like it doesn't lack in either of those genres. You know what I mean? Like it's strong in composition in both of those fields. It's not like it doesn't sacrifice one for the other. You know what I mean?
It has the same feel as the original Dawn of the Dead
Hmm.
when they're going through the mall, when the cops are in the mall and they're
Yeah.
like woo while they're killing zombies.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
at first they're
Yeah.
like kind of having a good time because they're like not realizing like this
Yeah.
is gonna be forever. They're like, oh, we get to like kill some shit, like woo,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah. For
kind of
sure.
in the remake when they're doing the kill Rosie O'Donnell, kill
Yeah.
fucking
The little
Fat
gang.
Shack, like
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah. It's
they're
100%
they're
just
having a good time of it, but it has a very similar vibe to that. This whole movie,
I cannot agree with you anymore. Absolutely.
The Dawn of the Dead lineage, but the
Yeah.
fight's really sick, really good. It's in like multiple parts. Like this movie, there's not a ton of plot, and when it's meted out to you, it is good, and it does keep you like hooked and invested.
Genuinely really good.
But like of this 2 hours of runtime, probably at least 1 hour of it is just straight up the fight scenes.
Just action. Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah. I'd imagine the ratio to this one is probably like 80% action, 20% story. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
100% fucking attitude though. This shit is just fucking it's just the attitude era of a
That's
movie.
exactly what I was gonna say. This movie starts with
So good.
Thank you.
Oh
Thank you.
man, yeah, no, and that is how it ends, huh?
So they fight, and it gets down to just the two of them, and they like have like a pretty big back and forth, but you can tell that he's got the power of God and anime on his side, the prisoner. And they end up back to back against each other in like the finale, and they're both just like they know this is the final move,
Hmm.
and they both close their eyes and then just kind of go, all right, go, and separate from each other and turn and swing,
Hmm.
and the prisoner wins,
Yep.
takes his head off, and him and the girl are like, oh my god, I can't believe it, we survived, let's get the hell out of here, this place is fucked. And then we get a 99 years later.
That was wild, dude. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, I knew you weren't expecting that.
No. Oh
This is
man.
that's pretty much the whole vibe of this movie is you didn't see that shit coming.
How the fuck could you?
So the it's like post-apocalyptic
Yeah.
99 years later.
This is
It's
just a great pairing to Dead or Alive 3. Like this is just a
yeah.
great pairing
It
to that
it
movie.
it literally becomes Fist of the North Star at the end.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's so funny.
Fist of the North Star starts with Shin taking Kenshiro's girlfriend Yulia and
Mm,
going to like an abandoned skyscraper,
that's
and
so
then Ken has to find his way there and fight his way to him, and then
it's
they have a
literally
big
just
battle.
that.
It's
That's
it's just
so
that.
funny, dude. Oh my God.
And so we see first of all everyone's bald in the future, which I thought was fucking hilarious. Everyone's bald in the future except for the main three. And we see the prisoner and the girl, and he's holding her against her will now, and
Mm.
all of the goons are on his side. And the man shows up, and the girl says, "You were right the whole time. I should have been on your side. He's a monster."
Yeah, and like that's the it's like the mic drop ending, right? Like that's like I was like, what the fuck? It's
Yeah.
yeah,
And
it's so strange.
well, it truly ends. She says that, and then the prisoner says, "There's nothing left in this world to destroy.
Mhm.
I'm finally ready to go to the other side."
God.
And I think he says like, "Will you take me there?"
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then they both square up with their swords and
Yeah,
charge
yeah.
each other, and then we just get a
Roll credits. Yeah.
versus.
Da, 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 da.
It's so fucking ridiculous.
No, dude, but then that shit, dude, that ending had me fucking hyped on that shit. I was like, yo, where is part two? I need a. I texted you right away.
You did,
I was
like
like,
in the middle of the night.
you're a fucking monster for setting this one up and then letting me know that there is no sequel yet.
I will tell you this, okay? This one's also on my DVD shelf.
Mm,
It also I'm so surprised. I thought that it was also a Kitamura movie.
mm,
Oh, so this movie, Death Trance, is a 2005 Japanese action fantasy film
ooh.
based on the manga of the same name. It stars Tak Sakaguchi of Versus fame, alongside Kentaro Seagal, son of Steven Seagal.
What the motherfuck, dude? What?
The film is the
What?
directorial debut of Yuji Shimomura, best known for his work as an action director, stuntman, and frequent collaborator of Ryuhei Kitamura.
Oh,
So that's why it's like a bunch of his dudes making a
you
movie.
literally, yeah, that's why you said it's a spiritual sequel. Okay.
Yeah, but that's another interesting one that we'll definitely do at some point.
That's
Um,
neat, man. Oh man, but this I just want more of this one, man. Like, fuck.
well,
Give this man the money.
he's been saying for years. I think I told you this before we recorded.
Mm,
No, I said at the beginning that he made Midnight Meat Train. So when
mm-hmm,
he was
mm-hmm.
promoting that, he was talking about an American remake of Versus, and then he started talking about a Japanese remake, and then he started saying, "Well, it's never going to be a remake. It's going to pick up 99 years in the future."
I fucking hope so, dude. That's how you do that movie. That's how you fucking do that movie. Like this doesn't work as a reboot. Because it just then it just becomes like, oh, okay, we've seen it before. It's just gonna be Mortal Kombat in the woods.
Yeah,
Like,
they just fight forever, so you just keep pushing it further and further in the future, and you can do
mm-hmm,
whatever the fuck you want.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Man, I want to see that. I'm trying to see that shit, man.
it's
Fuck.
it's cool. And
Ah.
there's a whole urban legend of whether or not this is true, but Sakaguchi, the prisoner, the main character,
Mhm.
claims that he met the director during a street fight that Sakaguchi was involved in.
I saw something like that. That's so funny. Yeah, you brought it up. I totally forgot about that little snippet.
That he was pretty much like, "Oh, this guy's pretty and he can fight. You should be in a movie."
Literally, you know, we literally talked about just people. I think it was in DOA 3, where it
Yeah,
was like just seeing,
Daryl Dixon.
yeah, exactly, just seeing the actor be like, you know what, you're my guy. In fact, you're the guy.
Supposedly, he asked him, "Would you rather fight in the streets or fight in my movies?"
That's the shit. The hell. That's a hell of a pitch too.
There's another story that he saw like a gag video, like a YouTube video or something. It sounds like
Mm.
with Sakaguchi in it, and he thought he had a beautiful smile.
No.
So it's either he had a beautiful smile or he was just beating the shit out of multiple men on the fucking streets. I could have sworn,
It's a JoJo dynamic if I've ever heard one.
yeah, I could have sworn the story said that it was like in Thailand where he was like in this fight.
Hmm. Would make
Um,
sense. Would make sense as well.
the cast list is hilarious. Prisoner KSC 2303, the man, the girl, Yakuza leader with butterfly knife, motorcycle riding Yakuza with revolver, crazy Yakuza with amulet,
That's why it's
Yakuza
like
with
there's
glasses.
literally no way to describe these people other than the characteristics that are thrusted upon them.
I love this one. Yakuza zombie in alligator skin coat.
That's amazing. And I
This
do
is
remember that one. Yeah, he's cool.
this is another one. Other prisoner.
There you go.
That's funny as fuck.
Who could forget other prisoner?
And who could forget other prisoner? Um,
Oh
yeah,
man,
but that's
dude.
so that's versus. It's a
That's
it's crazy. And it's
so good.
interesting because when I like look it up, I'm surprised to see uh like I saw a Reddit post where someone was like, just watch this piece of shit. And he was just
Mhm.
getting absolutely meteorically downvoted. Everyone was like, no, eat shit, bro. It's incredible.
Yep.
Thanks for the reminder. I'm going to go
Yeah.
watch it again.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. For sure. I could definitely. Well, do you want to just roll into the ratings in that? Because I can go off on
Yeah,
mine.
let's go ahead.
So I can see where this wouldn't hold up for a lot of people. I could see where there'd be like, oh, it's cheesy and it's just like fan servicey type of shit, like. But it's honestly, genuinely, really fucking fun. It's just a really well made, and that's what I'm saying. There is that like punk rock nature that's like bleeding through in terms of like again, we talked about Evil Dead. We talked about these like budget. There's no budget to be fucking seen at all, and it's just a group of people getting together and making something like really cool with fresh ideas that hadn't really been. I was fresh ideas for the screen, and in this region in particular, I would say it was a very they were pushing some boundaries in terms of like the ideas that they were putting on screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and and in that like you get something very again, there's so much earnesty in the movie, like everyone's playing it straight, everyone's not like everyone is doing the comic thing when they need to and stuff, but then when they play the fights for real, it is very like we were saying, it's just very well done choreography, very fucking well done fight scenes, like the costumes are fucking great. Everyone brought their fucking Sunday best.
Yeah.
It looks incredible.
Absolutely.
The props, dude, like genuinely, and then also genuinely the cinematography. There was some shots in here, the composition on some shots blew me away. Genuinely, really well filmed fight scenes, and just in general, it's well shot.
Yeah.
And it it is insane to talk about and kind of unfurl like how they made this on no money, very limited fucking resources and everything. You can tell, and also like I mean, yeah, this the forest setting being the only real setting of the movie, kind of a big giveaway for the budget. That's
Hmm.
totally fine, but they use it well. They use it effectively. It never gets old. Like I said, you never really like you're never bored at any moment. You're never like turned off by anything. It's always just briskly moving along. It just
Yeah,
moves along fat and a really, really
it really does. It sprints. Yeah,
solid 2 hours. Solid 2 hours of a film.
yeah,
They make use of every single frame. Nothing goes to waste. 6 out of 6. It's a fucking yeah. It's a that's definitely gonna new be a new favorite for me. It's definitely the best. Oh yeah, we rate out of 6 on the show.
yeah.
We always forget. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a
The
shit.
rating system's broken because usually there's
Exactly.
three, so a perfect score is a 666. But right now, a perfect score is let's you rate it out of six, I'll rate it out of nine.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
so I'll give it a nine, and now it's a 69.
Nice.
Um, no, but really on the 6 point scale, yeah, I go back and forth because it is obviously it is cheesy. It doesn't have a crazy deep plot,
Mhm.
but it's not really trying to not be or trying to have that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. It's a 9 out of 9. It's a
Yeah,
69.
yeah. It's
That's
definitely a
69.
69.
It's such a glorious blending of so many genres.
Mhm.
This song has come up a few times for me in the last week. Do you know Frankenstein by the Edgar Winter Group?
No, I do not.
It's incredible. Go listen to it.
Ooh, okay. I want to
That
keep
is
that.
this movie as a song.
Ooh, okay.
It's like math. It's from 1972.
Ooh,
Math rock is not a thing. It does not exist. That's not
fuck
a
yeah.
but it's probably one of the first popular like rock songs where like it's not a riff. It's like a
Yeah, yeah, yeah. More progressive than anything.
so it's just
Yeah,
constantly
yeah,
moving. Like it's not just like a 4 bar loop
yeah.
for any point in this song.
Fuck
It's
yeah.
just constantly moving. Like it's just everyone's fucking doing like a solo that goes for 4 minutes
Hmm.
at the same time. It's
Ooh, and
it's
I love that we just covered Phantom of the Paradise too, because we could.
that's
Oh,
funny.
we're showing our music nerd asses, dude. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so go listen to Frankenstein by the Edgar Winter Group.
Yeah, and
They
our
it's
Phantom of the Paradise episode while you're
it
at
it
it.
was a rock band one song.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
I
Okay. I gotta go back and
I
listen to this then.
I have had multiple conversations with my stepdad,
Uh,
like 40-minute conversations about this song.
that's so
Just
cool,
just about
dude.
like it's crazy. Go listen to
Yeah.
that song. That song is this movie in music form.
Hmm.
Um, it's incredible. Go watch it. Ryuhei Kitamura.
Yeah.
I thought I had seen two of his movies. I've only seen one, so now I need to go watch some more.
Oh, I'm
Um,
so ready for it, dude. Oh, I'm so ready
but
for it.
yeah, so thank you guys for listening. We've been the Devil's Work podcast. The work's
Yeah.
been done.
The
You
work
can
has been done.
you can find us. I don't know if TikTok's gonna exist when this comes out,
That's
but
exactly what I was thinking too.
you can find us on TikTok at the Devil's Work Podcast, on Facebook at the Devil's Work Podcast, on
Man.
Instagram at the Devil's Work Pod, and on Red Note. No, I'm just kidding. We haven't. Maybe we'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna
Um,
migrate. Yeah.
we're on YouTube as well.
Yep.
Just search our name up. Please hit subscribe. Please give us a 5 star wherever you're listening to this. All that good stuff.
That little bell
Um,
notification helps out a whole lot too.
exactly. Ring the bell. And if you want to reach out, let us know. A hidden gem of your own that you'd like to share, something we maybe missed, a little tidbit you wanna add. Maybe you just hate our guts, whatever. Reach out at the Devil's Work Podcast at gmail.com.
Yes.
And Sideshow over here has been doing some streaming lately.
Yes,
You
I
can
have.
find him.
I am over on Twitch. We are doing so I do some right now it's been very much few and far between streams because it's been a weird time as I stated earlier. But mostly been playing some games over there and I'll do some watch alongs from time to time for movies that we cover on the show. Pop in over there. get to watch it for a little bit. Watch me. Yeah, I'll give some commentary on like fun facts surrounding the movie sometimes. Kind of a little bit of a more relaxed version of this
You know,
show.
viewers may not know, but Willem Dafoe's cock is freakishly large. That's the kind of
Scary,
insight.
scary peen on the
Apparently,
man.
apparently
Scary.
it literally freaks people out. He's like, I don't know, it's Nugetics.
So for fun snack sized tidbits like those, go over to twitch.tv/sideshow PSY spell it right.
When you watch the lighthouse, you're going to be like, fun fact, Pattinson was not intimidated. He said I could take it.
God damn it.
Thank you guys.
They took turns bottoming for each other.
Oh, big time. Big time. That is oof. The Lighthouse versus Ichi the Killer in a
yeah.
will these two boys just fuck already contest.
Yeah. Will they or have they?
Mm. Mm. Well,
Right,
thank you guys for listening.
I don't know what are we getting next. Oh, next week it's my turn. Shit.
It's Papa's turn.
Yeah, and I think I remember up on the list. We're not doing the fucking one that we're scared of yet. We're not. That's the next turn. Next week we are actually getting I'm very excited about this one. I've been talking about this one for a while since we covered like Exorcist 3. I've been talking about this one. This is Fallen.
Yes.
I don't know the name of the year they came out, but Denzel Washington.
Yes.
This is a Denzel flick, man. It is super fucking fun. This was a childhood favorite of mine. I used to watch the shit out of this movie. 1998. Okay, crazy. This is John Goodman, James Gandolfini, dude. The stacked ass cast for this one. It's so fun.
Listen. Go ask the devil what the vig is on this bed over here.
Yeah, dude, it's good. It's so
I don't know.
fun.
I don't know what a vig is. I've just seen Uncut Gems.
Yeah, exactly. And
it doesn't feel good to say. I feel like I really need people to hear the V in it. To be totally honest, like I don't like.
Damn it.
Moratorium on those jokes.
Go and watch Fallen, man. Go check that movie out. We're gonna go be back, and we'll have a full breakdown for you next week.
Falling in my skin, these wounds they will not heal.
So appropriate.
Yes.
All right, you guys.